don't know why I have to make so many disclaimers. The most important takeaway from the Proverbs 31 wife is that she, so many things a Proverbs 31 woman is. But I want to tell you two big things. I'm going to focus on this, and then I'll do some subcategories, but I really want to focus on the two main takeaways from the Proverbs 31 woman. Number one, a Proverbs 31 woman is one, intentional / purposeful. I can't leave none of those two words out. A Proverbs 31 woman is intentional / purposeful.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Both of them, those words are basically the same, but I just like both of those words. A Proverbs 31, all throughout the chapter, you see how she's planning. She's getting up early. She doesn't laugh. She laughs without a care. She's peaceful because her household has everything they need. She's like, I got everything. I'm not even worried about this. I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about things other women in the world are worried about. I'm not worried about things other people in the world are worried about, because I know, first of all, I already got it done. I got it. That is why she can laugh. Listen, when you know that it's not you, you can laugh about it. The people who get upset and feel like they're being judged are the people that can't relate.
Don't hate the player, hate the game, son.
Because they know that they're lacking in certain areas. And instead of just saying, you know what, I need to fix that or work on that, they get mad and they just want to say negative things, or they just want to dismiss the information. But a lot of times it's not to hurt anybody. It's just like, come on. A Proverbs 31 woman is intentional. She is purposeful. All throughout here it says she is not lazy. She is busy doing this, busy doing that. Okay, she is looking at a field, searching for a field, looking in a field and buying it and making sure she is profitable in whatever she does. That doesn't seem like a woman who just goes with the flow and just lazy. It's not that at all. So a Proverbs 31 woman in general is intentional and purposeful. And the second thing, the most important takeaway from the Proverbs 31 wife is that she adds value. She adds value. In order to be a Proverbs 31 wife, you must add value to your husband, your children, and your community at large.
Does she really do anything for you? Like, I'm a big believer in men being protectors, providers, all that stuff, right? But a lot of dudes, they get so caught up in that role that they don't realize she does nothing for you. You know what I'm saying? She's just there taking. And you're just happy to be in her presence that you don't realize she's a liability, not an asset. Now, doing something for you doesn't mean she got to be spending money on you or, whatever. I don't view it that way. But what does she pour into you that makes life better? It could just be she knows how to handle you and make things more peaceful around you. You know what I'm saying? She knows how to talk to you. She knows how to inspire you. Whatever it is, does she have value that she adds? Because if not, nothing else matters.
When people leave you, they should feel like they left with something valuable. When people come into your presence, they should feel that they gained something valuable from you. And if, again, she added value to her husband. It said she does not harm her husband. She adds good to her husband all the days of his life. Her husband trusts her. See, the times where your husband has to worry, a man worrying about you going here, going there, doing this, hanging out with that person, it's because he doesn't trust you. There must be something about your character that has made alarms in his mind go off and say, this woman cannot be trusted.
These girls and lawyer, baby take games. These girls and lawyer.
Now, yes, there are some men who are just abusers, and they're tripping. But if you have a solid man, and you do, a solid man who is concerned about his wife, his woman, it's usually like that. And I'm talking about this man is solid. It's usually like that because there's something about you has proven that he can't trust you all the way. No, I can't trust her. And if a man can't trust you, he's not going to marry you. Because marriage is the most intimate, sacred, and vulnerable thing. And a man is, a lot of times men, they feel like in order to be masculine, or a part of masculinity is, you got to be stoic and you can't always be vulnerable. And I believe that. But if you're going to be vulnerable with somebody, it should be your wife. It should be the mother of your children. And if he can't trust you, he's not going to open up to you. So if you wonder why men are not opening up to you, or your husband or man is not opening up to you, it's because something about you he can't trust.
This couple dreams of starting a family, but Kendrick says if his wife Lavera doesn't get her spending under control, they won't be able to afford the fertility treatments that they need.
Out of control, to a point, yes. For example, 2 times out of the year, we'll donate clothes to Goodwill. And when we're packing up her clothes, a lot of them will still have tags on them. These are clothes that she never wore before.
So what are you doing to help save money so that you can pay for these treatments? Well, I mean, I pulled back my spending, but beforehand, I would go, yes, and like he is explaining, I would go and like to buy a lot of clothes, like to buy a lot of shoes, a lot of handbags.
Maybe he told you something and you went gossiping about it, and now he found out some way. Maybe he just sees that your character is you always bringing home gossip about so and so and so and so. Why would he tell you anything? You might go and gossip to your friends about it. Come on, we have to understand that there are a lot of reactions. Men can react to you a certain way, and sometimes maybe a lot of men are jaded because they've dealt with women that weren't worthy of them. And that's also their fault too. Just like it's a woman's fault if you keep dealing with men that are not worthy of you. You got to get it together. You need to know who you are. You need to know who God has made you to be in your purpose so you can start weeding those women out. But there's always a reason for something. And if a man is solid and he is having a hard time, you know, he's just like, where you going, what you doing? I don't know about this. He give you problems about everything because he probably just cannot trust you. Something about your character has shown him that he cannot trust you. Again, I don't know why I have to make so many disclaimers, but if you know, remember I said, if you know you have a solid man around, a solid man, there's nothing that he's done to make it seem like he's crazy or possessive in a negative way or anything like that. But he has some issues with some of the things that you're doing, and maybe he's not opening up to you in the way you want. You have to think, is it because he trusts you or not? Because the Proverbs 31 wife, her husband trusts her.
Wife, if you enjoy what you heard or watched, please consider subscribing to my channel. More content updates coming very, very soon. God bless.